Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my podcast. I am Nancy DeLeonardi from Nancy Be Inspired, and this is my podcast channel. And today I'm super excited to bring to you a brand new podcast where I'm going to talk about how to move to awaken. So get yourself comfortable, get into your favorite seat, your couch, get comfy under a blanket, get your favorite drink. If you are headed out for a walk, get your headset on and your shoes on. I will give you a second to get ready while I welcome everyone in. So welcome to the regular folks in our community. Thank you for joining me again. And welcome to new folks who are joining us for the very first time. My name again is Nancy DeLeonardi, and my business is Nancy Be Inspired. And so on this mission and movement of mine, it is really for to help women who have their back up against the wall awaken their inner heroine. And the premise of that is because that's who I was, and I want to share with everyone the framework that I use to help myself get out of very difficult situations where I defied everything in front of me. So that is the premise of my business, so that I can help you live your best life. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And today I want to talk about how the importance of moving your body. I talk about this a lot. If you follow me on social media, you will see that I post a lot about moving every day. I've spoken about it in other podcasts where, the Mind, Body, Soul podcast and, Dirty Little Secrets of the Fitness Industry podcast that I have out there. But you will see that I talk about it often because I believe it is the foundation of everything that I did in my life, because I always had a gym membership and I always moved my body, even as a young child, in a pool. And so what that taught me as I reflected back was, all the components of moving your body daily is really an essential key of our well-being. And that's why I want to talk about it, because if you're already moving your body, I'm going to have some key points and benefits to share with you if you're not aware of them already. But if you haven't started moving your body and you cannot for whatever reason, I want to talk to you, because I want you to get started moving your body for your future self. You don't want to get in upper age and you have hip issues and mobility issues, and you just want to see yourself when you're older being able to bend over and pick up a spoon up off the floor that you dropped, or a napkin. You want to be able to be mobile, and the way to do that is starting now. And so I want to talk about just really starting with the mind, body, soul connection and the benefits of it. I'll primarily start with that. So the mind, body, soul connection of moving your body, when you move your body and you do that for a consistent period of time, 30 minutes is recommended. So make that your goal if you're starting out. But once you do that, if you do some research on endorphins will kick in. They are the feel-good endorphins in our body, and those feel-good endorphins actually stay with you for a long period of time after you've done that physical activity to activate them. So, that's really important to really, I feel for myself that I always say I work out because I'm addicted to the endorphins. It's the happy place for me. I read this quote a long time ago where someone said this quote. Someone said, "Sorry, I worked out." No one said ever. So I'm going to repeat that. Sorry, I worked out. No one said ever. And that quote is directly related to the feel-good feelings from the endorphins after you work out. So think about that for yourself. Have you ever worked out, taken a walk, a jog, a run, played, a game, tennis, pickleball, whatever. And then afterwards, have you ever said, "I'm so sorry I did that"? I seriously doubt it. So think about that, because it is, your mind, body, soul connection. The physical benefits of moving your body, it gives you additional strength. It gives you flexibility, mobility. those are all components of our body, and I talked about this too in another podcast where we have to sleep every night and we have to eat and nourish our bodies, but we also have to move our bodies more than the normal day to day, right? And then there are mental health benefits of moving your body, which reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. And depression is probably the number one serious issue in the world today. And, if you suffer from that in any way, I'm not a medical doctor at all, and I don't have, not prescribing anything here, but I would just recommend that if you start walking or moving your body consistently, just see if you feel any better. It's known to help. So it also, from your mental wellness, it boosts confidence and self-esteem. Moving your body will do that. It boosts your confidence, your self-esteem, and it also, helps deepen your spiritual relationships, right? Because then you feel like you have a purpose in life, or you feel more fulfilled because you're filling your own cup with moving your body. So, I would say that, just start with 10 minutes a day and find your joy, find your happy place. What is that for you? Is it walking? Is it dancing? Is it yoga? You determine what that movement is for yourself, and then try to do it every single day. And I recommend starting with 10 minutes. I recommend creating a log and tracking your progress so that you stick to it, whether you need an accountability partner, someone to walk with you or do your activity with you to keep you on track. Do whatever it takes to get yourself in a routine if you don't already have one. I'm going to really try to start putting more content out there for short little snippets, maybe 30-minute, Zumba songs out there that you could watch. You can go to my YouTube channel. I have videos out there. So, for those of you who love Zumba, I love Zumba just because I love dance and music. And, to me, dancing and Zumba really is a form of exercise that really to me is not, I don't look at it as a form of exercise. I look at it as a time of joy and fun. And I absolutely love it. It is my number one favorite thing in the world. And I am so grateful that Zumba came into my life because of the benefits that I personally received out of the program, and all the benefits that I've seen as I, became a teacher, and all the people that I've affected positively by way of Zumba. So I am a huge fan of Zumba, and there are all formats of Zumba, right? You can do aqua Zumba. You can do, there's, regular Zumba class. There are step Zumba classes. There are many different types of Zumba classes that you can take. There's Zumba Gold, it's called, and that is low impact. If you don't have the ability, or if you're injured or recovering from surgery, you can take Gold. So I recommend that you go to Zumba.com. I am not an affiliate of theirs. I'm just sharing information to help you. And I myself, like I shared, will put content out there for you to follow along as well, if that will help you start your journey. So also, I want to say that, play a game, gamify your progress. So if you decide that you want to start today, and you can start today, I recommend getting a really good pair of shoes, and I'll put some links in my storefront for you to just check out. But I say that, I think you should have a really good pair of shoes that support your feet, and then start, whatever it is, your joy place, and track it. Track it and set a goal for yourself that this week I'm going to walk 10 minutes a day every single day. It's daylight savings day, right? So now today is the first day of daylight savings time in the United States and Virginia. And so our days are longer. The light is longer, and that makes me super happy because now I have more time to walk more, because I actually walk every day. It is a form of meditation for me. So you could look at it like that. I do not bring a headset. I just walk and I listen to the birds, and I look at nature and the deer and whoever comes on my path. So I look at it like that as a form of meditation. So I like going out into nature. So I will work out. I'll go to Gold's and lift weights. I'll go to yoga. I'll go to cycle bar, but I will still get a walk in just for the meditation piece of it. So back to setting yourself up, with a goal, and then to gamify it would be, what do you like? Do you like coffee? Do you like getting a massage that you don't normally do not get, maybe a pedicure that you do not normally, do for yourself. I would say that once you set your goal and you achieve your goal and you've tracked your goal, then reward yourself with that game. Like, play a game with yourself. I'm going to get myself a Starbucks coffee on Friday, once I, walk 10 minutes a day, today, Sunday to Friday. That's your game. And you track it. And then on Friday, you go get the coffee. Me, I don't really buy Starbucks coffee, so that's what I'm talking about. I would then treat myself to a coffee. So whatever that works for you, please, set it up as a game, and set up a game with your friends, and, start, because this is the time of year. It is, spring is upon us. The days are getting longer. The weather is going to subside, keeping us indoors. And, where there's a will, there's a way. You could join a gym and walk on a treadmill. You can get it in. You could walk around your house. You could walk inside your house, outside your house. You can walk in place. You can jog in place. You can turn on the TV and go to YouTube and find different activities that you can get it accomplished regardless of the weather. It's really a mindset that you want to achieve this goal, and what actions do you need to take to achieve the goal. Fundamentally, that's what it is. Don't make it harder than what it needs to be. Just take action. Just do it. And take notice of how you feel doing it. And I would say that if you walk 10 minutes a day, if that's your goal starting, then, the next week, aim for 15 minutes and see how you feel. And then the next week, 20, and so forth until you get 30 minutes in. And then perhaps you can start tracking your mileage, right? And so if you're, at 0.50, you want to get to 0.75 of a mile, and then 1 mile, and then, increase not necessarily the time. So your minimum time, I would say, is 30 minutes. But then you can move beyond that and start doing your miles. So for me, I walk a minimum of 3 miles every single day. That's my minimum. And sometimes I might do that twice a day. In the summer coming up, I'll do it twice a day because I actually love just being outdoors. So if I can go get in another walk, I walk a certain route that is 3 miles. So when I go out, that's the route that I will walk. Or if I go to different places, I'll still watch my iWatch and track the mileage there. So I am about the mileage at this point in my life, but for the beginners, I would just start with time, and don't worry about the mileage until you get to a point where 30 minutes is a little bit, just easy for you. You can do it, and it doesn't seem like, it's any big deal. But if that actually is your limit and you can't dedicate any more than 30 minutes, then stick with the 30 minutes, because moving is the goal. And when you move, like I shared earlier, you will release endorphins in your body that will make you feel good. And when you feel good, you will take positive action on things in your life, or anything that comes on your path that might be challenging. You will have a more positive attitude, perspective about that, as opposed to being negative or feeling defeated. So for me in my life, because I've always had the physical component to it and the hardships that came upon me in my life, I was able to handle it and manage it because I had built up this resiliency in myself with knowing that I can do whatever it is, because I had built up confidence and self-esteem. And it was solely because I continued to work on myself. No one told me to do this. I never had a partner who went to the gym with me, or an accountability partner that I needed to go to the gym with to do it. I was on a mission for myself, for my own self-improvement. And I noticed for myself that the days I was not able to work out, I was at a lower energy frequency. I just didn't feel as energetic. I didn't feel as happy. I didn't feel as motivated. I just didn't feel as good as I did on the days that I did work out. So I highly recommend taking notice of how you feel. It's super important. And, as I mentioned, I'm here to help you live your best life and figure out what it is that works for you, and, gamify this make a list, stick to it, track it, reward yourself, and share it. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your successes, and I'm here to support you. And I know that this works because I've been doing it a long time. I've seen other people do it that I am friends with, that I've met in Zumba class, and they've continued on their own journey, and they're walking and feeling the benefits of that in their life. And I want that for each and every one of you. So let me know how it's going. Let me know your success stories. Enjoy the springtime weather, the daylight savings. I know if you're not a fan of the heat, I am a fan of the heat, because I always say I was born in the summer, so that's probably why. And I'm Italian, so coming from a country that's very hot, I always say that maybe that's part of my genes, that I love the heat. But I understand if you don't, right? We all like what we like. Some people like the winter, whatever. Just if that, as I mentioned, if now with the spring, if you can go out, if you have allergies and you cannot, please utilize other resources. As I mentioned, you can go on YouTube, you can go to my channels, you can join a gym and take classes, you can join a gym and get on the treadmill, the elliptical, the bike, whatever it is that you want to do. Pickleball is super, super popular right now. I believe that pretty much most people can do that activity, but just Google, research what it is that you want to do. And if you have questions that you don't really know what to do, maybe you have limitations and you're a little concerned about, what activity you should do, speak with your physician and ask, what would be best for your body and what you could be capable of doing. Because I do know that for myself, when I have injured myself in class, I did one time a couple years ago in Zumba step class, I tweaked my knee. And, the more I ended up moving my body and really training, I went to physical therapy and I worked on my quads and the muscles around my knee and moved it and did exercises, it actually got better and healed. I tore, I think it was my ACL, and they wanted to do surgery. And I did not want surgery. And I said, I really would rather go to a physical therapist and see if they can help me. And the physical therapist helped me, and I healed, and I never needed the surgery. So that taught me that if you exercise the right muscles for an area that might be challenged, you maybe you can work around other alternatives. So I'm a big fan of holistic processes before actually taking the next step, unless it's necessary. That's just my personal opinion, but you do what's best for you. Again, I'm not a medical person, so I'm not advising you to do anything that your physician wouldn't tell you to do. I'm just giving you options on, the benefits of just moving your body and staying healthy, because in the long run, our bodies will continue to age, and moving it, keeping them, agile, and the mobility and the muscular, strengthening of all of your muscles in your body really will help you in the long term. And I would just say that if you need any kind of inspiration, and I do this myself, I will Google centennials, because I love learning from them. Like, what did you do in your life? And what are you eating? And what is your attitude? And you will learn so much from them. They are an incredible group of people that I could spend hours with, asking them all sorts of questions. Because think about that. A centennial has been on the planet 100 years. Imagine what they've seen. And imagine, what obstacles and challenges they endured in their lives. And they are the living encyclopedia. They are the living Google. They can tell you what they did to get through. And my research with them actually had to do with, I just love hearing about them, but all of them that I listened to, they had a positive attitude, and they exercised, and they ate well. Now some, they might drink, my culture, right? They drink wine, and that wasn't a hindrance for them. But everybody does what they need to do. I just feel like culturally, your genes might be more prone to just having that capability of, consuming the wine and you're okay just because your whole lineage drank wine as a staple at their dinner table. That was my upbringing, right? As a child, I was served wine at the table. That was my drink at the table. And that's what you did in Italy. And that's what my mother did here raising me. And I think I turned out okay. So, I don't judge anyone for the culture and the ways that your culture is and what works in that upbringing. And I just say that you just embrace it and look to your future self and look to what do you imagine yourself being like? When you reach the age of a centennial, do you want to be able to ride a bike? Do you want to be able to walk? Do you want to be able to skip? Do you want to be able to touch your toes? Like, it seems simple. Do you want to be, number one, do you want to be able to get out of your chair by yourself? Think about that. We think that, that's not going to be me, but you know what? You blink your eyes and, 10 years have gone by. It's truly true. You don't think that at the time, but time does catch up with you, and it is the one thing that you cannot get back. You cannot get back time. So that's why I always want to talk about the importance of moving your body, because it is the one thing that most people can do, and you can start small. And if you are challenged, please speak with your physician to see what activity you can do that will allow you to move your body more than what you're doing it today safely, because in the long run, that is what our bodies need. They were designed to move, they were designed to support us, and they were designed to carry us around in the world. So we need to keep it balanced, healthy, and we need to, have good nutrition, well rested, good night's sleep, very hydrated, and we want to take care of it because we only came with one body and we have to take care of it the best that we can. So I hope that this podcast inspired you today. I hope that you get out there and walk and you comment and drop me a note and let me know how you're doing. I am super excited for you in your journey to awaken your inner heroine, and please come back for more. Thank you so much, and let this inspire you today.